results are in. Will we have costumes or will we have more diverse character animations? And I can confidently say we're tied. So therefore, I will be doing both. Thank you to everyone that responded with a suggestion. And today we're starting off with adding the coin. You know, basically every platforming game has a coin. It guides you to paths. It's yellow, it's shiny. You can use the coin to buy stuff. In my game, you can also find the coin on levels. Once you collect the coin, I want it to turn grey for all subsequent visits to the same level, and the coin will only give you 0.1 coins when you collect it again, to discourage coin farming on the same level, but also making it so you can't ever run out of coins. As you can see here, I have the coin animation, and I think it looks cool. It's floating up and down. Of course, I can make it go faster. It's going at 5 frames per second in Godot. Anyway, that's a coin texture. And today I thought I'd do something a bit different. I wanted to walk you through my process of how I code stuff, in case any of you wanted to do some coding as well and weren't sure how I approach it and wanted to learn. Of course, I'm not a good coder, and I don't think I ever will be, but there is a method I use. Everything is a formula. So here I'm in my global dot. It's a script, it's on autoload, so it automatically runs when it starts. And I have 3 variables here. Coin was collected, which is a bool, which is true or false. Coins, which is float. And collected coins, which is a dictionary. Now, I know that we have to use a dictionary for this to store all the coins that you collect in the level. But I don't know much about a dictionary apart from this. We can see some information here in Godot about it, which is very useful. But the place I like to get information is the Godot documentation. So we search up Godot docs and then we put in dictionary. Then we can click on dictionary here, and we can find the documentation here. A dictionary is a built-in data structure that holds key value pairs. So a dictionary is essentially a container. We can see that they use these curly brackets, and they have names and a value, just how in real life dictionaries have words and they have a description. In this case, it's variables with a description. This will be useful for storing the amount of coins, for storing all the coins we've collected in the game. So what I like to do is have Google up to the side and the Godot docs as well. And I drag it over to the side. I have 2 screens, by the way. If you don't have 2 screens, then I suggest that you put it up in like a quarter of your screen. Like you could do this or something. I'm not sure how to stop it clicking away, but I'm sure a feature exists to prevent that. Anyway, now let's go to the coin script over here. It's an area 2D, and area 2D is good for the coin because the collision shape on it should not make the player stop moving. Instead, the player should just be able to enter it. So what I start to do now is I write hashtags to make comments in Godot, and I write comments for what I need the code to do. So I need to create a variable for all the coins collected in the dictionary. I need to stop the coin being collected twice while you are still in the level. I need to give the coin a unique ID. I need to remove the coin from the scene when you collect it. I need to increase the amount of coins you have depending on whether you have collected it before or not. And I need to make the coin grey after you have collected it for the first time. By the way, is grey spelt with an A or an E? I still don't know. Alright, so now we start crossing off this list. We don't have to do it in the exact order. We just have everything we need here in a big pile. And now we're going to organize that pile by writing proper code. So let's start by creating a variable. We use var to do this, which is short for variable. Then we give it a name. I'm just going to call it coin ID. And what value should we give it? Well, it's a string, of course, because it's a string of all the coins we've collected. So that is done. Now we need to stop the coin being collected twice while you are still in the level. So let's create a variable for that as well. Let's call it isCoinCollected. And the type of this is a bool. And we make it equal false to start with, because you wouldn't have collected it to start with. But the starting value doesn't really matter. So that is done. We've already crossed 2 off. And now I need to give the coin a unique ID. So now we use the variable we created, coin ID. But how do we use it? Well, we need to get the level scene. And we also need to get the X and Y position of the coin to create its unique ID. So how do we get that? I don't know. So let's go to Google. How to get the scene in Godot. Normally I overview for stuff, but it's very useful for getting quick information instead of having to go for a YouTube video or the actual docs itself. And you'll have to scroll through a lot of information in here about getting nodes and stuff. So I consider this fair game. So this is very useful. Get underscore tree.currentscene.scene file path. Of course, I'm not going to remember that by myself. I mean, like, no one can remember everything, but after searching it up on Google, we know what we have to use. And it does work because the coin will be instanced into a level scene, and we need to get the scene of that level by finding the current scene. So we'll copy this, and we'll paste it down here. Now, what do we use to store this information? Well, I remember this one, an array. So basically, we create an array by using an equal sign and then the square brackets. We can put this inside the square brackets, and we can see that our array doesn't work. Alright then, let's search up array Godot. Let's go to the Godot docs, and we can see here we need to have something inside the brackets, it appears. But we do have something inside the brackets, so what's missing? Oh wait, I understand. This needs to be put inside a function. Oh, I remember now. Okay, so we put this inside func ready, because we want it to start when the scene starts. Then we get this. Then we see this error. Value of type array cannot be assigned to a variable of type string. Alright then, let us copy it and paste it into Google. Then we see this helpful information. This error occurs because you are trying to store a collection of items, an array, inside a variable designed to only hold a single piece of text, a string. To solve this problem, we need to put a string before the array. I believe that is how you solve it. So let's get a string here. We can instantly see the problem is solved and replaced with a different problem, invalid index type string for a base of type string. Of course, our string needs contents, but what contents do we have? To solve this error, we can use a percentage mark and then S inside the string, because that means to get a string. To insert a string, you could say. However, we still have this error here. So let's put it into Google. We're learning things as we go here, by the way. I can't find an answer to this problem immediately here. So I'm kind of stuck. Oh wait, the string isn't formatted correctly. We need another percentage mark. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we need the rest of this. So we need to get the X and Y position. We can use global position.x and global position.y. And of course, in an array, we need the commas after the first two. Now, this works perfectly fine, but we should round the global position x and y into an integer, just so we don't have any decimal values that ruin it. And then we add the remaining things to the string. The D represents an integer. And now we have given each coin a unique ID. So that's crossed off. Now we need to remove the coin from the scene when you collect it. Well, we could do any of these things. So these things relate around whether you've collected it or not. So for this, we're going to be using a signal. So we're going to connect onBody entered, which is how you deal with these area 2Ds where you enter it. Then we get this error. It doesn't match the previous indent level, so we need to I tabbed it to change the indent, but it didn't work. We're going to put pass here, just to make it not an error for now. Use space character for indentation instead of tab. Okay, we're going to delete that line, and we're going to put this here. Huh. I don't know. On line 19 it says there's an error, when actually it's on line 20, which doesn't exist. So, let's try tabbing this again. You know what, we're just gonna ignore that for now. So, this is where is coin collected comes in handy. If is coin collected equals false, global, because we're pulling it from the global script and it's on auto load, global dot plus equals 1. Oh yeah, and we need a colon here. What is wrong? Oh. I am really ignorant. There was a space before the func on body entered. Okay, we changed this from an equals to an equals because we're not creating something new. We add an underscore to the body since we're not using the body component. Anyway, if is coin collected equals true, we make global dot coins plus equals 0.1 because I don't want to encourage people farming coins. Okay, so this is done, increasing the amount of coins depending on whether you collected it before or not. So there's 2 left. So if is coin collected equals false, I want to make it so the coin is grey after you collect it for the first time. So how do you change the modulation of something? Well, I actually remember this. We're going to use onReady var anim equals animated sprite 2D. So we can just call anim to get the animated sprite 2D. Then we get anim.modulate equals color. Then we get 55, 55, 55. I think that makes a nice gray. We might have to click into it here to change it. I'm not sure when this color will update on it. I'm not sure when it will update. Okay, it's currently a blue color. We don't want that. Let's just change it. Yeah, we'll come back to that. For now, it's working. It doesn't matter the color right now. Anyway, now we need to remove this coin from the scene when you collect it. So no matter which one you have, it's gonna be a Q_3 to remove it from the scene until it comes back when you reload the scene later. So no matter what onBody entered, we're gonna put Q_3, which is a function here. And that should be the complete code, I think. I think it's the complete code. Except for the fact that we have one oversight. If is coin collected never becomes true. So if it's false, I just want to set it to true. So we get the variable, and then we set it to true. And that solves that problem. And there's another oversight, I think. We have global.gd, and we have the coin was collected, which for some reason I wasn't using. So I'm going to go back to global.gd, copy this, and I'm going to bring it to the coin code. I'm going to replace this, and you can press Ctrl D to change it. We're going to Ctrl V, and then we're going to press Ctrl D again, and then we're going to put global. Okay, it doesn't work. Oh well, we'll have to do it for all of them, but it shouldn't be that bad. So we put global.coin was collected. What is wrong here? Okay, I have a new game plan. We're gonna remove this, and we're going to remove all mentions of the coin was collected, and we're going to replace them with if global coins dot has coin ID. So we're checking if it has the coin ID in it. Then we do the same code, so we don't need the false. And then we can replace this with an else. I think this will work. Oh, wait. Oh, the if has... Oh, the if is for the... Oh, since I changed it, the if is for the gray. Okay, so we changed this to 0.1. We changed this to 1.0. We should probably have the gray part in a different function now that I think about it. So, or an if. So let's just put this in underscore ready function. So it loads when the scene loads. So let's make it global dot collected coin has coin ID. Then we have the anim dot modulate equals color, and then we put 55, 55, 55. That should make a nice grey color. We've got to connect these up. The color preview isn't showing, that's okay. Maybe we should make these 0.55 so that it gets a message. Now it is. Yep, that's grey. That's grey right there. So we have this code which works, except we need to add it to the dictionary. So global.coins, and then we put it in the coin ID variable. Then we put true. So now it is in the dictionary or the array or whatever. Now that this is done, we're not done entirely yet because we need to make a label that says how much coins you have. This should be extremely simple. Also, I would save the script, but pressing Ctrl S stops my recording, and I've done that several times already. So let's just create a new node. I like to use a canvas layer to start off with, or a control. It doesn't really matter. I don't really notice a difference. Then we're just going to call it UI, user interface, the classic. We're going to add a child node. We're going to call this a label. We could use rich text label, but a label works fine for me. I don't really notice any problem with it. Then we're just going to put coins. Well, we're going to attach a script anyway, so it doesn't matter what we put. Anyway, we go to the function ready. We remove this comment. I don't know why it's there in the first place. It's just something go does. Then we should probably make an on ready for the label. We're probably going to call the label coins label. We're going to make this on ready var coins label equals coins label. The $sign gets the variable. Then we're going to have coins label dot text equals coins, and then we're gonna have coins and then plus, and then we're gonna have a variable here when we make it. Let's just call it null or something for now. Anyway, now let's make a variable. Well, we already have the variable. We can just put global dot coins, I think, and it works. I think it works. Let's go over here. We're going to put a font onto it. I'm just going to scroll down and find the font that I use. Not this one. I tried this one. I don't really like it. We're going to go to theme overrides. We're going to go to fonts, and we're going to throw this in. And there's a much nicer font. The font size, well, I'll really have to test this out. I think a good one to start with is just 64 pixels, though I'm not really that sure. Probably 32 is better. Anyway, I'm gonna go oh, if I save it, my recording's gonna close. I'm in a very tricky situation here. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go over to the level. I'm going to instance it. You know what? There has to be an option to save without doing the shortcut. There has to be. I've never done it without the shortcut before, though. Where is the save option? If we right-click it, is there an option to save? Save branch as seen. I never thought I'd be searching this up, but here we are. How to save in Godot. What? I don't want to make a save and load system. How to save a scene in Godot. It's saying to press Control S. Why did I set the shortcut to stop recording to Control S? Press scene at the top left and select save scene. Alright, let's select save scene. Oh, it was that simple. You learn something new every day. Okay, now we're gonna instance it. We're gonna instance a UI scene. Where does it appear? Here it does. No, I don't want to drag onto the conveyor belt. What? Oh, it's clicking onto the conveyor belt marker. Okay, this is terrible. Okay, so we're just gonna set the offset to like 5 or something, so we can drag it. Okay, we're setting the offset to 100. No, the point's still there. How do you fix this? What is wrong with Let's go to the conveyor belt. We can't even move it out of the way. Oh, we can move the position though. Yeah, let's just move it over. Okay, now we can drag. Now we can drag the UI. No, we're dragging the spawner 2D. Then we're dragging the canvas modulate. And then we should be dragging it. Where did it go? I don't know. Nothing's making sense anymore. Oh, don't tell me the zone 1 tile map is there. Alright, we'll set that 100 pixels away. So, I'm uninstancing the UI scene, and I'm reinstancing it. Okay, you know what? Let's just go to the coins tile map. So we can draw coins here, because I put it into a tile map. Pretty self-explanatory, so here's the coins. I'm just going to press Ctrl Z, not Ctrl S. We're going to put 3 coins here. Okay, we're going to go in. We're going to go into the level. Ah, an error. Invalid operand string and plus operator. My favorite kind of error. Alright, let's copy the error. Let's put it into Google. You must convert the float into a string. Alright, I actually don't know how to convert them. Oh, you wrap it in str, which stands for string. Okay. So we wrap this in str. You learn something new every day. I've learnt plenty of things today. This has actually been very thoughtful for me, doing this. I should do this more often, just talking and recording. Helping me to make sense of things. Oh, the coins UI does appear. It's a miracle. It works. Okay. So it says 0.0. So if we go to the coins, it doesn't add up. Oh, wait, I understand why. We need to put this into physics process as well, so it updates. No, just regular process, because it's not physics ticks. Process runs is basically multiple times a second, heaps of times a second, and then we just copy this, and we paste this. So now it updates every second. We're not using delta in it, so we underscore it. It's fixed. We go back into the game. We go into the level. Everything's working out perfectly. Yes, it works. We got the coins. Alright, now it's time for the moment of truth. So we're going to throw this crate onto the pressure plate. We're going to go through. We're going to jump through. We're going to go to the flag. We're going to go back into the level. The coins are indeed grey modulated. They are darker than they were before. And they only give you 0.1. Look at that. I rest my case. Anyway, if you enjoyed that type of video, and I hope you did because I enjoyed making it, then that's good. I really enjoyed doing this type of video where I just talk as I'm working, and it's more fun than doing these heavily edited videos. Did you like this style? I feel like I'm improving more when I'm talking while I'm doing it because I'm learning new concepts. Like, I've already learnt some stuff, and imagine how much more I can learn as well. I hope I taught you some stuff as well. And let me know if you want me to do more types of videos like this in the future. I could do them tomorrow, and any day, because it's actually more fun and less stressful for me to do these types of videos. And anyway, that's it for this video. No abrupt ending this time. Oh, I guess it is.